Okay, so that's what the bed looks like when it's all dug up and the gardener is tired. I decided to leave the, since they're still green and since I got tired, they can stay for another week. Maybe they might get a little bigger, who knows. But let me show you what we ended up with. These are cobbler, and these are the red Norlands, which is the first ones that I started. And it's funny because there was a fair amount of rodent damage on the red Norlands, which kind of looks like that. But you can cut that off and it'll dry closed and it'll be fine. But there was absolutely no rodent damage whatsoever on these cobblers, which are really nice looking potatoes, I think. And this one here might be the big potato of the year so far. Pretty nice. So now we just leave these to dry for, I don't know, maybe 24 hours. We don't want them to get too much sun or they'll turn green. Then bag them up and put them in the refrigerator. Actually, I found out or discovered last year that if you have the space and can store your potatoes in the refrigerator, they'll keep for months and months and months, and they don't sprout and they don't go bad, and that works great. The only trouble is they take up a lot of space, so you got to have the refrigerator room. So anyway, potato harvest day worked out pretty well. Alright, so now you know what happened out here in the potato patch, and like I said earlier, those are the russet potatoes that are staying in the ground. I'll probably pull them next week. Well, we'll see how it goes, maybe a little later, depending on how much they die back. Here is a second planting of beets, two varieties, the Touchstone Gold, which are just great. Those are on the left, and then I also had some red beets left over from previous year, so I went ahead and planted those. Down here we've got some carrots. You can just see them starting to come in. Not as obvious as the beets, but we do have them, all those little green slivers. So hopefully we'll get a fall crop of carrots, and if all works well. Now I promised you that the sweet potatoes would be covering the bed by the time the next video came around, and sure enough, they are looking very nicely. In fact, I have to take things like this and kind of redirect them back into the bed so they don't grow all over the place. But they're looking very healthy, and hopefully we're going to have lots of sweet potatoes forming down underneath. Okra has been doing great, except for it's kind of interesting. There's two okra plants right here. This one, which you can see looks pretty darn sickly, and that one, which even looks more sickly, are sickly. Whereas these other ones are just great. They're like, I'd say 4 feet tall, and you can see the number of pods on them. So why these two right here got weird on me, I have no idea. And it's not because of the proximity to this tomato plant either, because this one right next to the tomato plant is pretty much doing fine. But speaking of doing fine, look at these eggplant. I have a glut of eggplants. I haven't pulled them off because they keep better kind of on the vine than they do once you pull them off. So I think what I'm going to try to do is pull a bunch of them and bake them and then freeze them. And I haven't tried to do that before. We've eaten a lot already and given a lot away, but boy, they're so pretty, and they're doing just great. Which brings us to peppers, which are no slouch either, as Jessie can attest to as she walks through them. But look at the nice color that's coming in, and these guys I have also purposely left on the vine, so to speak, because what I'm going to do is one of these nights just come out here and take all of them that are ready and then freeze them, because they freeze excellently. And if you're going to go through freezing, it's nice to have a big batch to work with. So that's where we're at. Look at these Pink Beauty tomatoes. They are living up to their name. Just gorgeous. not many flaws, and very pink, very distinctive color. And just starting to go crazy, but as you can see, there's plenty that are ripe and bright pink. These Marzanos, I think that's the name, also starting to come in. These will be great for drying. I like to dry tomatoes in the oven with a little spice, and they keep forever in the freezer. And then of course the oh, hi Ma, how's it going? Finding anything? What do you see? Have you seen any mousies? You get those mousies if you see them, okay? All right? All right. Keep looking. Anyway, Juliet tomatoes. Also, you can just see dozens and dozens in there, ready to be picked tonight, as there were dozens and dozens ready to be picked last night. And we've eaten a lot, we've given a lot away, and they are just wonderful. In fact, I can't resist. They're so good. Alright. Excuse me for talking with my mouth full of Juliet tomatoes. But here's all our corn that fell over. And these ears look like they might be a little small, but they feel pretty good, and they're just about ready. So I think probably this week we'll pull a few of these and see how they are. Now the question is, do we go out to the orchard? I think maybe we'll do a quick trip out to the orchard. I'll just give you a quick update and then come back here. So alright, this tree here is a little peach tree, and it has no peaches on it because the peaches were ready today, and there weren't too many of them, and they were pretty small, but they were delicious. This peach tree, however, these are still hard as a rock, although they look kind of inviting, and so they're not going to be ready for a while yet, but there are a lot of them. And so it looks promising that we're going to have at least some more peaches off of this tree. Meanwhile, these are Red Delicious, and there's lots of Red Delicious all over this tree. Still looking very promising. I've kind of left them all. I haven't tried to thin them out or anything. But you can see them just hanging off the bottom of the branches there. Alright, one more thing to show you here in the fruit department, and that's our little pear tree, which, just as you can see, appears to be doing just fine. Now these guys are far from ready. They're still also kind of hard as a rock, but there's so many of them and they look so healthy that we've got a pretty good chance of getting a nice pear crop off of this guy. So meanwhile, back in the garden, Molly, who likes corn so much, has managed to knock down a stalk and is helping herself. Of course, that corn is not nearly close to being done, but we do love our corn out here, and I can't blame them for that. But that's going to do it for us here in Marvin Gardens, August 2009. It's been just an absolutely lovely August day, even though it's been hot. It's a really nice evening. It doesn't feel hot right now. It's kind of quiet. The sun is just about to sink below the horizon. We still got stuff coming in, and been harvesting a lot of stuff and planting new stuff. So things are still really happening out here in the August garden. Next time we see you will be September, and we'll be facing fall at that point. That's pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, there's no season that isn't nice in the garden regardless. But that's going to do it for us. Marvin Gardens, August 2009. We will see you in September. Bye.